now that we've had, a couple of weeks to even think maybe a little deeper about our perception of what femininity means, because I don't think that as a society of human beings, not just Americans, but human beings, period, that we have a clear definition of those words, masculinity and femininity. And I also don't think that there's a way to convince people that don't understand femininity as an energy as opposed to a body part.
Yes.
That there's a way to convince them out of that thinking.
Well, there's some people you can, but some people you're not. So, but I found an amazing infographic that I wanted to just talk about when you're ready. And it talks about just what you're saying. It doesn't say feminine or masculine. It says feminine energy and masculine energy.
Yeah.
And in the middle, where the two circles, are mutually exclusive and mutually inclusive, in the middle, it shows balance.
But yeah, so it's like a Venn diagram where the two.
Yes.
Yeah.
The two circles overlap a little bit in the middle. And then one side's feminine, one side masculine. And I would like to read you what they think is the definition of that, because it's the best one I've seen so far.
Okay, do it.
So for the feminine side, it says intuitive. It just has words. Intuitive, senses, creativity, nurturing, experience, reflective, being, collaborative, expressive, receiving, vulnerable, patient, empathic, trusting, and grounded.
Okay.
And then which I agree with most of those, but I feel personally, I feel personally that I have a lot of masculine as well. So
but if it's an energy, it's not negative or positive.
It isn't
on either side. It's just,
and I think the point is that it's balanced in the middle.
Exactly. Yeah. I heard an explanation earlier today from a lady named Michelle Miller. She did a TED Talk, and the way she described femininity and masculinity is femininity is experiential, so it's all about the experience, and masculinity is about results. And as she talked, I was like, yeah, I think that's absolutely true. I think that's absolutely true. And they can cross over and merge, but the feminine energy is about getting the caffeine out of the coffee because you need the energy, but drinking it out of a nice cup. So yeah, I want the experience of having, a nice cup of coffee, but I'm having it because I need that kick.
Yeah.
So the two things are cohesive.
Right. No, but I agree. I want to get your take on the masculine side. So the masculine side says logical, mind, decisive action, risk-taking, achieving, impulsive, controlling, competitive, intellectual, giving, resilient, focused, analytical, assertive, and disciplined.
Okay.
And it's funny because I feel like I'm half of those things also, you know.
I think for the most part, you're all of those things. I think the degree to which
Yeah.
you are all those things ebbs and flows. And I think that's true for almost everybody. But I think the reality is, as women, we grew up in the age when women were just getting to have control of themselves. Our autonomy was just being handed back to us. But the only way it got handed back to you wholly is if you acted like a man.
Right.
So if you spent more time in that masculine energy than you spent in the feminine energy, we want you to look feminine, but act masculine.
Right.
And we did that for about 25 years until we finally said, yeah, I can wear a tie and a collared shirt, but I'm not wearing 6-inch heels too.
Yeah, well, I think that, that has, I think it shifted a little bit given what's been going on, but with the whole world, in general.
Yeah.
But for many facets of that, not just what's going on with sexual harassment and the Black movement and, working from home and not having to do all that anymore and not being able to travel and not having to see clients because you're not getting dressed up anymore. But I think there's a shift in a lot of women's minds, including mine, where I don't put makeup on every day anymore. I don't, do I let my hair dry natural. I just don't do any of it anymore.
Well, I think women in the last 10 years have stopped existing strictly for the pleasure of others. Whether that's other women or other men, men, period. But the idea that your presence needs to be acceptable to the other as a start to entering the world. I got to get out of bed and I got to make myself, physically pleasing to the other, and then act in a way that's emotionally pleasing to the other, is not a base that we're working from anymore.
Yeah. And I'm still fighting that fight, even at my age. And, given what I already know and who I know that I am and who I'm growing to become every day.
Yeah.
I still fight that fight every day.
I think we will. I think the next generation, my daughter, I don't think she'll fight that fight. It's interesting to me though, how, it's like weird, because I love that she has that independence, but it pisses me off too, because I'm like, I don't get to roll like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?